Hi, I'm Zola, and this is an intermediate full body reformer workout with a focus on unilateral work. So we'll do a lot of exercises with one side of the body at a time. Let's get started. So I'm on a personal hour reformer. As for the springs, I have for footwork two heavy, a medium, and a light spring on. You can choose your own setting for footwork, whatever you like. So let's get started. Go ahead and lie down on your back. Toes on the foot bar, heels together and toes apart, arms reaching long by your sides. Make sure you have a nice heavy tailbone. Breathe into those back ribs. Let's get started. Inhale out, exhale in, or whatever breath you like to do. I like to mimic those springs with my lungs, inhaling as the springs open, exhaling as the springs close, but do what makes you feel good. Let's do 5 more here. As I bend my knees, I make sure they don't go any wider than my shoulders, so my inner thighs are working still here. One more time, all the way out, all the way in. When I change to my arches, I make sure to do both feet at the same time. So don't walk the feet, you use your core and go to the arches. My legs and my feet are together. If you know that you're a little bit knock-kneed or legs together is kind of uncomfortable on your ankles, you can have the legs separated a little bit, but I'm okay with squeezing my inner thighs together. I like having my inner thighs hug into something. Let's do 5 more here. Full range of motion, all the way out, all the way in. 2 more. 1 more. Good. When you change to the heels, both feet at the same time, flex those feet and continue. Pull the pinky toes back just as much as your big toes are pulling back. My arms are reaching long, my collarbones are wide. 4 more for 4. And 3. And 2. 1 more time. Come all the way in. Stay on those heels and go to the corners of your foot bar. I have a slight turnout in my legs here, and continue your footwork. In this wide position, make sure you're truly straightening both legs at the same time. I can feel here that my left leg wants to get straight before my right. So I try to push into that right heel a little bit more. 3 more. 3. And 2. Now come all the way out. Stretch those legs and only come halfway back in. Alternate between internal rotation and external rotation, keeping the carriage as stable as possible. So my tailbone is still heavy and my back ribs are still reaching down into that mat as I lubricate those hips. On the internal rotation, I try to press my inner thighs in toward each other. External rotation, I try to get the outer hips or the outer thighs to reach as close to the floor as possible. 2 more sets. 1 more set. Go back to your natural turnout, press the carriage all the way out, stretch those legs and stand tall, and pull the carriage in. So I'm taking my feet onto the platform underneath the foot bar. I'm reaching the arms up to the ceiling, and I'm doing a full roll up to seated. This is my transition for a spring change. You can swivel your feet over to the side. I'm doing 2 medium springs here, and lying back down for some unilateral footwork. So on this personal hour reformer, 2 blue springs. Reach your arms forward and roll yourself down. Place your heels on the foot bar, legs and feet together, centered on the foot bar, and press the carriage out. It's very light, so be careful. Right leg comes to tabletop. It stays in tabletop. I continue footwork on the left leg. Bend and stretch. Bend and stretch. Full range all the way in and all the way out. 1 more like this. Now as I come in, I stretch the right leg over the foot bar, and then I bend that knee as I come out. The goal here is a stable pelvis. Can I move the legs equally without dancing my hips all the way around? 1 more like this. Good. Reach the right leg up, come in, lower the leg down, push out, lift the leg up. You go down and you go up for 3 and 2. One more, press out and hold. I'm standing tall in both of my legs, reaching that right leg way up to the sky and pushing that heel into the foot bar. Single leg circles, cross the leg over the midline, circle it down, open and up. Inhale over, exhale, circle up, over, down, around and up. Two more, two. Continue to stand tall in that left leg, nice and strong. Reverse those circles, out, down, around, and up. We're still going for a heavy pelvis, not tipping those hips as the leg goes over. Two more. One more. Good. I bend the knee. I find the foot bar with the heel. I bend both knees, bring the carriage in, resetting and pushing both legs back out. Left leg comes to tabletop. I pull the carriage in. I press the carriage out. Keeping stability in the left side of the body. Good. Bend and press. Two more here. One more here. Now add that left leg. Shoot it over the foot bar and pull it back. Four more. Out and in. Try to move both legs equally. Arrive at the same time. Two. One more. Press out and hold. Stretch that leg up to the sky and then lower the leg down as you come in. Push it out, kick the leg up. I shouldn't say kick, I mean lift the leg up with control, of course. Two more, down and up. One more, down. Lift and hold single leg circles, over, down, around, and up. As the leg opens to the left, I really wrap the right ribs down on the mat. Right hip anchors down on the mat. One more this direction. Pause at the top, reverse the circle. Continue to stand tall again in that right leg, pushing into the foot bar for 3 and 2. One more. Good. Bend the knee, find the foot bar with the heel, and bring the carriage all the way back in. Good. From here, place the feet on the foot bar. Do a full roll up to seated for another spring change. You can swivel those feet over to the side. I'm going to do 2 heavy springs, 2 red on this reformer, taking off the blue for bridging. So roll yourself down, go down the same way you got up. Make sure the headrest is down. And then place the heels on the foot bar, hip width apart, arms long by your side. So let's just wake up the back side of the body. Curl the tailbone under, roll the hips up. Good. At your highest point, make sure your chin is away from the chest. You're not pushing with the upper back. So front ribs hug into the back ribs, and I'm truly lifting from my seat. Inhale here. Exhale, roll it down. Good. One bone at a time. Good. Again, curl the tailbone under and peel your hips off of the mat. Peel the spine off of the mat, only going as high as your glutes are supporting you. Inhale here. Exhale, roll it down. So like I said, we're just waking up the back side of the body. It's okay if your carriage has to push out a little bit to make space. We don't want the hamstrings to necessarily cramp here. Wow, I couldn't find words. We want them to work, but we don't want them to cramp. So if the carriage moves out, fine, but try to keep the carriage as stable as possible. Roll the hips up one more time. Good. From here, little pulses up and up and up and up for 6 and 5. Chin off the chest. 4, 3, 2. Keep the hips lifted and hold. Let's press the carriage out. And let's pull the carriage in. Hamstring curl. Press it out. Now make sure the low back doesn't start to arch. Keep your tailbone lengthening up toward where your knees are pointing. Good. We press out. Maybe your legs don't get all the way straight. I know when I straighten my legs all the way, it goes into the low back, and we're not trying to do that. Let's do one more here. Press the carriage out. Pull the carriage in. Once it's in, inhale deeply. Exhale, roll down through the spine. One bone at a time. Take a little quick stretch here. You can lengthen your legs up to the ceiling, quick hamstring stretch. Going into some unilateral bridging. So when you're ready, I'm lengthening the right leg up to the ceiling, truly flexing that foot. The more I pull the toes back to my shin, the deeper the stretch is in the back of the body. Now from here, lift the hips straight up and down. And we're not going for height here. If I lift the hips and my back arches, it's not worth it. So my lift isn't as big as many people's will be. Up and down. For 3 and down. 2. One more. Let's keep the hips lifted. Lower the leg down. Lift the leg up. I'm flexing the foot to go down, pointing the toes to lift, keeping the chin away from the chest. That's the hardest part because I want to look at what my legs are doing. And up. One more time here. Down and up. Pause at the top. Flex the foot again. Pulse the hips for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the hips come down with control. Put that right leg down, wiggle it out, shake it out, and then left leg reaches up to the ceiling. Flex that foot. Make sure your tailbone is heavy here. You don't want to be in a place where the leg is so far back, your hips lift off of the mat. So heavy tailbone, even if your leg is a little forward. We lift the hips and we lower them down. Lift the hips and lower them down. Keep going. Push the backs of the arms into the mat. 4 more. 4 and 3, 2. We lift and we hold. Lower that leg down. Point the toes to lift. Flex to go down. Point to come up. 3 more of those. Down and up. For 2 and lift. 1 more. Take it down and up. Pause at the top. Flex the foot. Pulse the hips for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hips come down and hug your knees again. Rock from side to side. Hamstring stretch. You can flex the feet, grab the toes, or grab whatever you can reach for a hamstring stretch. Very nice. We do another roll up to seated. So curl your chin to your chest, roll yourself all the way up. I'm changing to 1 medium spring and a light spring, or you can do 2 medium springs. Once you've done your spring change, I'm still getting used to this reformer, by the way. Reach your arms forward, roll yourself all the way back down. Now, if your headrest is down and you like it up, now's your chance to put it back up. Grab your handles. I have the double loops and I'm grabbing the short loops. Bring your legs to a tabletop position and actually make sure you have a little bit of space between your shoulders and the shoulder blocks. And then we start to press those straight arms down and lift them right back up. Good. Press down. Now pause on the down. Again, widen the collarbones. Think of the shoulder heads rotating open to the sides and keep that openness in the chest as you lift the arms. Press and lift. So it's not just me pushing down with my hands. I'm reaching the back side of the arms to the mat too. Good. So from here, add a lift of the chest. Curl chin to chest, lift and lower. Good. 4 more of those. Press and lift. Inhale down. Exhale, curl. Good. 2 more. 2. 1 more. Lift and hold. If you feel good, you can stretch your legs to a high diagonal. Start pumping for your 100. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. That's 30. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, pushing those shoulders away from the shoulder blocks, reaching your arms nice and long, pushing the hands into the handles, looking at either your belly button or the lowest part of your thighs, or I should say highest, the thigh bone closest to the hips. 3 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. 1 more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Good. Bend your knees, lift your arms, and rest your head. Beautiful. Put your loops on the pegs. One more spring change for you. So roll yourself all the way up. Swivel off to the side. I am doing one blue spring, so it's a medium spring here, and I'm also lowering the foot bar all the way down. Lying on your side, so we can do some unilateral arm work. So my hips are about a palm's width from the back of the reformer. I'm starting with my left hand so I can face you and you can see what I'm doing. And I'm taking my bottom arm and placing it. You can do either on the peg or on the shoulder block. I'll hold on to the peg today. Wrap your shoulder on the back, lengthen through both sides of the waist, and simply press your arm down to the hip and lift it back up just to the height of the shoulder, and then press it right back down and lift it up. Good. Press down and lift it up and press. Let's do 3 more here. I'm thinking of that arm to back connection, so not just moving my arm, but I'm working my upper back. Now one more time, press down and hold. This time my palm faces the back wall and I sweep my arm forward. And then press it right back to the hip. Now if you want more of a challenge, you can extend the top leg long and continue. Reach the arm forward and press that arm back. Inhale forward and exhale, press. Wide collarbones even in this position. Let's do 3 more here, long and strong through that leg. If the leg is too much and you just can't live your best life with it reaching, bend that knee and put it back down. One more time, forward and back. Now we do a little arm circle. It's like a half arm circle. Lift the arm up to the sky. We slice it down. We press it back. Again, up to the sky. Slice it in front of the nose and then press the arm back. 3 more this direction. You can smooth out those circles. And 2. I really feel the upper back and the back of my arm working a lot here. 1. And then, of course, we do the reverse 5 times. Sweep the arm forward, slice it up to the sky, and press it down to the hip. 4 more of those. Up and press. For 3. And 2. 1 more. And press it down. Slice the arm forward. Bend your elbow to your ribs. Tricep, press the arm down. And bend. Good. Press. Remember the bottom waist, the waist closest to your mat or carriage, is lifted off, right? So the spine is still long. 3. 2. I feel the burn here. 1. Bend your elbow, bend your knee, and we go right to the other side. So I will have to face my back to you, but make sure, again, you're about a palm's width from the back of your carriage. The spine is long, tuck those knees, and then reach the arm up to the ceiling, press the arm down to the hip, and straight up. Wrapping the shoulder onto the back, feeling that palm to upper back connection, and press. And inhale, lift, and exhale, press. Good. 4. And 3. 2. Let's do 1 more. Pause once you're down. Flip the palm to the back of the room and sweep the arm forward. And then press it back with your upper back. Inhale forward and exhale, press. Of course, you're still holding the abdominals strong here, scooping the belly in and up. No arch in the low back. Long through the tailbone, long through the crown of the head. Let's do 3 more here. Sweep it and press it. 2 more. Forward and back. 1 more time. Now we do our little arm circle. So we lift up, slice the arm down, and sweep it back. Lift it up, slice, and press. 3 more this direction. We can smooth it out, but don't let the arm lift so high that your shoulder shrugs into the ear, right? Good. Up, forward, press. We reverse those circles. Sweep the arm forward, up and press it down. Sweep, lift, and press. 3 more. Smooth it out. 2, and 1. Good. Sweep the arm forward, bend that elbow into the ribs, and tricep press that arm to straight. We'll do 8 here. Press. Good. Feel the squeeze in the back of the arm here. Of course, I forgot to extend my top leg out. Hopefully you did it if you wanted to do that. 3 more here for 3. And press 2. And 1. Bend your elbow and rest. Good. From here, bring yourself all the way up. I like to do a nice roll up to seated to keep the transitions in the core. And let's grab the long box. So long box on the reformer. By the way, I have a very slippery box. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. Foot bar is up because we're doing some Swan. I'm going to do one heavy spring here and see how that feels for me. Lie on the back box, open your legs the width of the box, make sure you're centered, and then close those legs together. If legs together is too much on the low back, keep them open hip width apart. That's totally fine. I'm going to do hip width apart today. And I'm just going to test the weight of the spring. And I like this one. I have one heavy spring on. So arms are shoulder width apart. My legs are reaching long. Make sure you're not shoving your belly button down into the box and lifting the legs, right? I'm pulling my pubic bone up to the belly button and lengthening my tailbone to the back edge of the reformer and not up to the ceiling so that I can stay in my abdominals and not in my low back. Start to press the arms out and pull the arms in, or pull the carriage in. The elbows are not wide, so my shoulders are lifted. They're not narrow like a tricep press. They're somewhere in between where I can wrap the shoulders on the back and keep my spine nice and long. Let's do 3 more here, just a few arm pumps, and press 2. Now on your last press, we hold the arms straight, going up into Swan. So think of the chest presenting forward, pulling up in the stomach. The carriage comes in a little bit, and then we bring it down. Breath is inhale to lift, pick up that stomach off the box, and exhale to lower. What we don't want to happen is the belly button to get closer to the box as your chest lifts, right? That's all low back. So I'm picking up my hip points, I'm picking up my stomach to lift the chest. Good, one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Bring the carriage in. I'm gonna lighten the spring a little bit. So I was on a heavy, I'm going on a medium. This time, my right arm reaches out to the side. Can you just pump that left arm without twisting the shoulders? Right arm strong like a T. Let's do one more press out and hold. Can you do a single arm swan, keeping the shoulders square? Easier said than done. Lower the chest down. One more time on this side. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. I bring the carriage in and I switch hands. Left arm long to the side like a T, and I press out, out, and in with control. This side feels a lot harder. Press and bend. Press out and hold. Just 2 times. Inhale to lift. Try to not twist here, and exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. Carriage comes in, and let's step off of the box. Now from here, turn to face the back of the reformer. I'm going to lower the headrest down just so my feet have somewhere to be. And we're doing the abdominal series of 5. So carefully roll onto your back. Your head likely will not have support unless you have a huge box. And I'm going to scooch my hips even more to the front of the box. Single leg stretch. Curl your chin to your chest, lift your chest. Both hands on top of the right shin, outer hand on right ankle, inner hand under the right knee. Stretch the left leg long. And then switch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both knees bend. Inhale, stretch both legs long. Double leg stretch. Circle the arms around and pull in. Inhale. Exhale, circle and pull. 3 more here. Reach. Exhale, pull the legs in. 2 more. Keep the chest lifted as you stretch the arms back. 1 more time. Single straight leg stretch. Right leg up, left leg out. We pull, pull, and switch. Deepen the abs and switch. 8 and switch. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Hug those inner thighs. Make sure your legs aren't going east and west. Legs up to the sky, hands behind the head. Double straight leg stretch. Inhale, lower the legs. My heels are together. My toes are apart. I inhale to lower. I exhale to deepen the belly and lift the legs. 3 more here. My palms are stacked behind the head, and I'm trying to lift the chest as much as possible. 1 more. Right away, crisscross. Elbow to opposite knee for 10. Lift to switch for 9. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug both knees and very carefully rock yourself back up and take a breath. Whew, the ab series of 5 never gets easier. Okay, from here, let's go into short box. So I'm lowering my foot bar again. Actually, you know what? Let's keep it up. I don't need to have it down, and I need it up for the next exercise. I'm going to place my box behind my shoulder blocks. And I'm adding another spring for stability. Now, my strap is on the outside of the reformer for this particular machine, so the setup might not look the same as it does on your balanced body or grots or anything. Okay, short box round. Give yourself a hug, sit up tall. Make sure your legs are separated. Outer feet or outer edges of the feet or ankles are pushing into the strap nice and tight. So that keeps my outer hips engaged. Give yourself a hug. Also make sure there's about at least 6 inches of space between your seat and the edge of the box. Let's start our round back. So I rotate, right? Rotate the pelvis under. We don't want this going into the low back. I'm pulling my hip points and pubic bone up and rounding back only as much as I can keep that connection and then coming right back up. Again, rotate that tailbone underneath yourself. Let it slide forward. And then roll it up. Again, back. And up. 1 more time, take it back. Hip points pulling back. Pubic bone pulling back to my nose. And rolling up. Good. Flat back. Stack your palms. Palm over palm for me, always. Push the head and the hands into each other. And then hug your seat in. Lift a little taller through the spine. We don't round, we hinge back, pushing out into the strap so the outer hips are working for you. And then you hinge back. And then you bring it back up. Again, lift up and back. And bring it on up. 1 more time. Come on up. Good. Lift through the spine. How much can you hug your seat and lengthen through the back of the neck, through the spine? Only twist. Twist your ribs to your right. As you twist right, my right heel is reaching forward, so my hips aren't going back with the ribs. Come center. Lift even taller. Twist your ribs to the left. Keep the left heel reaching forward. Keep those outer hips anchored, and then come center. Twist your ribs to the right, and then hinge yourself back in that twist. Twist and reach. Good. Come center. Lift and twist. Spiral the rib cage and then reach. Hinge yourself back. Both of my sits bones are down on the mat, so both of my butt cheeks stay down in the hinge. So I'm not tipping over to one side for that reach. Last time, lift and twist and reach. Come all the way up. Center and rest. Woo! That one's a doozy. Okay, side sit-ups. I will face you first. Keep the top foot in the strap. Place the hand on the headrest. I like to do that so I can find my angle from the crown of my head to the heel. Makes that long, beautiful line, right? And then I take that top hand behind the head. I'm toast in the toaster here, I always say. So my rib cage isn't splayed out. I'm not rounded in my upper back. I'm long. Bottom hand comes under or up if you're comfortable, and then you side bend down. And then you lift it up. If you need to keep that other hand down, feel free to use that arm for support. Otherwise, both hands stacked behind the head. 3 more. 3, and lift. 2, 1 more, down and up. Twist the ribs down, and then grab the frame of your reformer. Take a big stretch here. Walk your hands up, and let's do the other side. Those also never get easier. Other foot under strap. I have my back to you, so sorry. Hands on the headrest, top hand behind your head. Now, my top foot, I'm going to rotate it so my toes point forward and my heel is lifting up to the sky. No turnout in that leg. Hands behind the head. I dip down for 5. Actually, let's do 6. I think we did 6 on the other side. 4 more. Down. Lengthen to lift. How long can you reach out to go down and out to come up? Let's do 2 more. Down and lift. 1 more time. Down and up. Twist the ribs and take a stretch. Very nice. Breathe. And then walk your hands all the way back up. We are done with the box. So step off. Let's put the box away. And like I said, foot bar is still up. I'm going to lift it up 1 more notch though. And going into a little scooter. So from here, I'm taking it to 1 heavy, 1 light spring. Let me see how that feels. That feels heavy, which I want. So I don't want this to be too light. From here, scooter, my bottom of my foot is on the shoulder block that's closest to me. My thigh bones are even with each other. This knee will never come to the mat until we stretch. Both hands are on the foot bar, or 1 hand goes behind the back, whatever you're most comfortable with. I'm hinging the hips back, long spine, pressing the carriage out and in 10 times. 9, 8, 7. Push. I'm finding stability in the rest of the body. 4, 3, 2, 1 more. I'm bringing the carriage in, and I'm taking off my medium spring. I'm continuing. 10 more scooters. 10, 9. So I'm working the back side of that leg as I press out. I feel a little bit of quad and hip flexor as the carriage comes in. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. The carriage comes in. I hop my standing leg forward to be more even with the springs, or toes even with the springs. Both hands go on the foot bar. I lengthen my back leg and I bring my hips down into a lunge, pulling the abdominals in and up. Keeping the back leg straight and strong, I bring the carriage in. My hips lift a little bit. My standing left leg straightens and I sweep it back. Your flying planks. Find your lunge again. Arms are nice and strong. Sweep the leg back. Good. Take it down and reach it back. Let's do 3 more here. 3. Back leg is straight and strong. 2. 1 more time. Down and swing it back. And then we finally stretch. You can put your knee down if you'd like. Get your Eve's lunge in. Remember, when we do this, we don't want to collapse, right? Keep the chest lifted. Keep pulling those hip points up. And then take your outside arm, reach it up and over. Take your inside arm, reach it up and over. Bring the carriage in. And then as a little, call it interlude. I shouldn't call it an interlude. It's just another exercise. I'm changing the springs to 2 blue springs, or that's 2 medium-ish springs. Let my headrest be up here for long stretch. So toes are on the crease where the headrest and carriage meet. Legs and feet are together. Arms are shoulder width, wrapped onto the back. I press the carriage out with both arms, not with the legs. And I pull the carriage in with my stomach. I try to get the carriage to touch the stopper before I go back out. Keep the ankle stable here. Hug the seat to pull yourself back in. Inhale out. Exhale, pull the carriage in. Wide through the collarbones, pull the sternum up. Carriage comes all the way in. One more time, my tailbone is reaching down to the heels, hip points pulling up in the front so the spine is long. Whew. And then I step off to the opposite side of the reformer, starting that whole series over. So I have a red and a blue, which is a heavy and a medium. One hand on the foot bar or both hands on, back to scooter. Thigh bones are even with each other. Send the hips back, press out and in. Oh, this side is weaker. 8 and 7. Can you stabilize the rest of the body as you move that carriage in? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause. I'm taking off that medium spring and continuing. Out and in, and it's still hard. And 9 and 8. My left arm or the hand that's touching the foot bar is straight and strong, like I'm going to do a plank. 3 more. For 3 and 2 and 1. Good. I hop my standing leg forward, toes even with the springs. I lengthen my back leg long, send the hips down, find a lunge. Arms are straight, abdominals are strong, back leg stays straight. Sweep that bottom leg back, and then find your lunge again. And then sweep, and down, and sweep. 3 more. 3. Trying to keep a long spine here. 2. Feels so good to go down to that lunge. Get that stretch in the psoas. And then take your eaves lunge. You can place the knee down. You can send the hips down. Keep the chest lifted. You're still doing Pilates. Outside arm reaches up and over. Inside arm reaches up and over. Both hands on the foot bar. Carriage comes in. Okay, now for some unilateral arms. I'm going to my blue spring here, which is my medium spring. And I'm going to find a Z sit. So the leg that's closest to the shoulder blocks, internally rotated, shin is up against the shoulder blocks. Other leg is parallel to the new front of the carriage. If this is too much on the hips, this is a very compromising position for many. Crisscross applesauce, totally fine. I'm going to do my Z sit. I am someone that cannot get the top hip all the way down. I'm trying to get both butt cheeks down on that mat. Everybody can't do that, and that's fine, but I'm actively reaching that hip down. Grab your short loop, oblique twist. So wrap your hand around your fist, right? Sit up tall through the spine. I'm not using my shoulders. I'm using my obliques to twist the ribs over to my left toward the foot bar, and then all the way to the risers. So twisting both ways today. Sometimes I stop halfway, but I'm feeling footloose and fancy free today. So like I said, I'm actively trying to lengthen through my right side of my waist because that's the side that wants to be crunchy. But I don't have a lot of internal rotation, so that's a really big challenge for me. Let's do 4 more. I'm a Pilates instructor who can't count. So forgive me if I am not even on both sides. You at home can do the correct amount of reps on both sides. 1 more. Now let the carriage come in. Hold the strap with the hand closest to the foot bar. That's my left hand. You can hold the other hand either on the hip or on the shoulder block in front of you for draw a sword. I'm nudging the elbow out and extending the arm out to straight. 3, 2, 1. Pause. and then I'm bringing the carriage back in. What I'm not doing is twisting. I am stabilizing my shoulder girdle and drawing my sword, right? So I'm trying my best to keep a long spine, to not let the shoulder shrug into the ear to do this, which is hard not to do. It's very tempting. Let's do 5 more here. 5, long arm, resist it in. So we come out with power, 4, and we resist that carriage to come in. 3 more. Make sure you are breathing. Last 2. And 1. Whew. Let the carriage come home, put that loop on the peg, and to go to the other side, especially if you're in the C-sit, the easiest thing to do is twist toward the back, and voila, your legs are the way they need to be. Grab with your hand closest to the strap, and then wrap that outer hand over top of that fist. Oblique twist. Twist your ribs to your foot bar. Twist your ribs to the risers. Twisting both ways today, only as much as you can stabilize the pelvis. This side, it's easier for me to reach the left hip down and find more length in my left waist. That says a lot of things. Let's do 5 more here. 5. Shoulders down. The shoulders should be even across both sides, so one isn't higher than the other. 3. Ideally, of course. 2 more. 1 more time. And then we draw a sword. Grab that strap with the hand closest to the foot bar. Sit up really tall, roll the shoulders down and back, draw your sword with power, and return with control. That's 1. We're doing 10. Reach. Always go to that lighter spring if you feel like you're really overcompensating and shrugging the shoulders into the ears, twisting the rib cage. 5 more here. Out with power. In with control. For 4. For 3, grow taller and pull it in. 2 more times. 2. And 1. Whew. Arm is burning with that. Alrighty, I'm lowering my foot bar down, doing some unilateral leg work, side lying legs. So you can choose your poison here, whether you like a very heavy spring or a lighter spring for side lying leg work. I'm going for sort of heavy. I'm going on the heaviest spring on this reformer, which is the red, 1 red, but choose your poison. You can always change it as you go if it feels too light or too heavy. I'm facing you, so that's my left leg. I'm placing my foot on the long loop. Hips are about a palm's width from the back of the reformer. Top hand cups the top of the shoulder block. Bottom hand cups the shoulder block as well. Now press the leg out to straight. From here, I can take a peek. I want my hip, knee, and ankle in line with each other so the leg is not too high or too low. And then from here, I just bend the knee toward the chest. Rope stays in front of the shin and press the leg back out. Find your seat here. So you bend and you press. Inhale. Exhale, press. Three more. So ideally 8 in each position, but like I said, I'm a Pilates instructor who can't count, especially while I'm doing it. Now press the leg out to straight and hold. From here, push your foot into the strap so much that the carriage doesn't move when you lift up and down, up and down, up and down. 7. Let's do 10 here. 8. Why not? 9 and 10. 5 circles each direction. For 5, the carriage will move here, but you want dinner plate size circles, keeping the pelvis as stable as possible, keeping the leg parallel, and then reverse the circles for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause the circle, sweep the leg forward, Keep the spine long. Don't arch the back as you press the leg back. So no rounding the spine to reach the leg forward, and no arching to press that leg back. Find your seat here. Inhale forward and exhale press. 2 more sets. Front and back. 1 more forward and press and bend that knee. You are done with that side. Take the loop off of your foot. I like to do a quick stretch between each side because that is a killer for my outer thighs. So figure 4, left ankle over right knee. You can either keep your opposite foot down or bring that knee to the chest for that deeper stretch. And then, of course, we have to do the other side. So let's get her over with and put that loop right on. So remember, find the alignment of that leg, ankle, knee, hip. Push the bottom of the foot into that strap. You'll feel your waist lengthen when you do that. So you inhale, bend, and exhale, press. So 8 in this position. For 3. 4 more here. You press and squeeze, resist the bend of the knee. Don't let the springs or the rope do the work for you. 2 and 1. Press out and hold. Again, push into that strap. How much length can you find as you go up and down? Don't let the carriage move. Lift and lower. 4 and 5. 5 more. 5. Keep the toes pointing forward. No turn out in the leg. 2 and 1. Small circles for 5. Get all parts of that circle, especially the up and the back part. 2 and 1. Other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can't see my face. I am grimacing here. Forward and back and press. So the leg can only go as far forward as you don't compensate with that lower back to press the leg back. So my range on this side seems like it might be a little bit less because I don't feel as stable. 2 more sets. 2 and 1 and press. Good. Bend the knee. We did it. Lie on your back. Take a quick little stretch. Figure 4. Ankle over opposite knee. Whew. Pull the thigh to the chest if you want that deeper stretch. Whew, that is tight. And then from here, we end with both feet in straps. So I'm going to add a spring here. I did a little rock up to seat it. I'm doing I'm doing a red and a blue, so a heavy and a medium. I'm still trying to figure out this reformer, so we'll see how it feels. Long loops on feet. And let's see if I like this. I think this feels okay. Long through the spine, long through the arms. Start with frog, bend and stretch. So same idea. I'm constantly pushing my feet into the straps so that, watch this, so that the ropes and the springs aren't doing the work for me. I'm keeping a heavy pelvis, a heavy tailbone, and when I bend my knees, I don't let my butt come off of the mat, right? Keeping everything super long, pushing the feet into the strap always. Yeah, so it's nice and controlled. And when you find that control, guess what? You can start moving a little bit quicker because you're in control. Good. Pause with those legs straight, leg circles. I lift my leg just shy of 90. I open the width of my reformer. I press down and I squeeze it in. That's all I do. It is nothing wider. We're not stretching. We're still working. And same idea, when you have that control, you can start to make those circles a little bit faster. because your pelvis isn't moving all over the place. Your abdominals are still working. Reverse those circles, go a bit slower. But when we do maybe a stretching sequence, maybe the legs can go a little bit wider, right? But that's not what we're doing this time. And then if you have that control, maybe you go smaller and faster. 3 and 2 and 1. And now we stretch. Soles of feet together, butterfly the knees open. I like to grab those ropes and pull my feet to the chest. And then I like to extend one leg open to one side. Feels so good on the inner thighs. When I do that, I try to not tip over to that same side. Anchor that opposite hip down. And the same on the other side. I'm going to extend the other leg, but I'm going to anchor this opposite hip down to the mat. Good. Sliding the loops off of your feet. Carriage comes home. And you are all finished. Thank you so much for working out with me. I'm Zola. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, write them down below. I'll be sure to respond to you. Thank you.